Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Chair Guys podcast. I'm your co-host, Anthony or Spiked, alongside.
RS Vaughn.
And, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. Always special, ladies and gentlemen, as you know. That is the Chair Guys signature, bringing on a special guest. And we have none other than CLB Max, Certified Lover Boy Max. What's going on?
Tuning in from down under. It's currently midnight, and I'm here to talk about some banging albums with the Chair Guys. Why not?
Yeah. And
I'm
for
very
us
keen.
it's currently 10 a.m. But I mean, Max, for those who live under a rock, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Well, some call me a micro e-celeb on Twitter, but I'd just rather call myself a Drake dick rider who just happens to know a little bit about music. I have graduated uni, I work full-time, and I used to be on Twitter a lot, and I used to talk about albums a lot, but I've kind of taken a break now. I do it on occasion, but not as much. And yeah, but I like these opportunities because right now, so busy, I don't get many chances to talk about music, but this is like a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I will say when I first joined like kind of hip hop Twitter and the music Twitter kind of space, I can't say I remember you, but then I think the first time I do remember you like being on my timeline and stuff was you posting like you did like favorite moments from like your entire Topster or something like that. Like it was insane. Like it was a crazy thread. Like it was over like
Yeah,
100 videos or something like that. I can't fully remember, but it was a really
yeah,
cool thread. You always have some fire threads. You come up with he's a genius. He's a genius. His tweeting skills, they're kind of crazy. Like you got some heat. But ladies and
That's
gentlemen, we're not here to talk about
facts.
Twitter, right? We're not here to talk about Twitter. We're here to talk about
cool.
albums, okay? And
Music.
coming up, it's been a while
Fucking
since we've seen
bang.
this artist drop an album, but he's here today to deliver. And it's none other
Gimme.
than Pusha T. It's
Gimme.
almost dry. So Vaughn, what's up with it?
So, Pusha T is one of my favorite rappers. I can't even lie. Daytona, one of my favorite albums. Hip hop albums, I would say. And I was very, very excited for this album coming up, especially here. And fuck you, Anthony. Let me talk, bruh.
Okay, go
Judgmental
ahead.
ass, okay?
Go ahead.
I was very excited hearing that the production was all handled by Kanye and Pharrell because obviously those two have the most amazing track list with Pusha T. And I was really excited, and going into it, Brambleton, let the smokers shine the coops, bro. Fire, fire, fire. The singles definitely delivered as well. Diet Coke was great. Neck and Wrist was awesome. The Jay-Z feature. One thing I really like about this album is Pusha T's hooks. I think he stepped up his hook game for sure. Neck and Wrist and Brambleton especially have really cool hooks. He also does some cool things with his voice on some tracks that I haven't heard before. But I was really loving this album for the first like 6 tracks, and then Rock and Roll comes on, and on paper should be a great track. I love Kid Cudi.
Should be a stellar track.
Should be stellar.
Stellar.
I don't know what happened, man. This might be the worst Kanye beat I've ever heard. Like no, I'm not holding you. Like it's actually kind of ass. Call My Bluff, I think is pretty good, even though it's a little weird. It's a little out there. Scrape It Off is like what the fuck? What's he thinking? Like this doesn't even sound like a Push song. Why is it on this album? It's so bland. Hear Me Clearly
Actually,
in Open Air.
I need hold on. I need to stop you right there actually,
Okay,
because
okay.
you know what? I will say, "Scrape It Off" is actually kind of a good track. I'm not gonna lie, but not for a Pusha T album. Not for a Pusha T album.
That's
Yeah,
respectable.
I'm
Yeah.
with Anthony on this one. That when I was looking at that track list, I saw a Don Toliver and Lil Uzi feature on a fucking Pusha T album. I was like, what the fuck? And Don Toliver just sounded so unbelievably out of place. But
Yeah.
Lil Uzi Vert just goes so hard. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like
It
Uzi's
was
verse,
just hard.
it just like I don't even remember it. Like I just black
damn.
out when that song comes on. I'm like, but
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hear Me Clearly in Open Air, just like whatever. But I Pray for You is maybe the most bizarre track on here because if you guys don't know, Labyrinth is the dude that does a lot of the Euphoria soundtrack. And
Yeah.
I'm not joking you when this song it sounds like straight up from Euphoria. Like it sounds like they fucking chopped a Euphoria song and made a beat out of it. And it's so bizarre. Like it just does not work, dude. Like Malice and Push do pretty good on it, but it's just like a bizarre fucking song. Like it just doesn't I don't know if it's because I've seen Euphoria or not, but like it just doesn't sound right to me. Like it just doesn't
It
work.
takes so long to start up too with all that singing. Like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
don't know. It's I
yeah, that
just it doesn't
song.
hit for me. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I
people
really,
talk about like albums being front loaded. This is like textbook example. Like literally, my favorite six tracks are the first six tracks. My least favorites are the last six. So
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
overall like I think the good outweighs the bad, but just like for Pusha T album, disappointed me.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Max talk at the end cuz I want to interject real quick cuz we got to give the floor to Max to talk about Pusha T.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
will say Pusha T, here we go. Here's my analogy, all right? Pusha T is the Lay's of hip hop, all right? Like Lay's are good, like regular flavored Lay's are like pretty good, but not by themselves. Like you need to pair it with something in order for it to be like really really good. Like it can't hold its own. You know, I'm not gonna be there like, ooh, give me that bag of Lay's. I need that. I'm gonna be like, ooh, I got myself a burger. This could go with some Lay's and it could be fire. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I've always
Okay.
been like, Pusha T is cool. He's cool on Kanye features. Like he does a great job when he comes on. You know, he had some great he had a good run on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And he's just been on some really cool shit like with Kanye involved. So then when we actually got to something like this, like It's Almost Dry, I was like, okay, I don't really care because Drake literally ended him. Like this dude's irrelevant. He's making scraps to try and become irrelevant. His album's not even doing Drake numbers. It's about to sell 55K. Like you got to be kidding me. Like come on. So I ended up listening to it, right? And yeah, like Vaughn said, Brambleton, fire. If this was the direction like the album went the entire time, it'd be one of my favorites. Brambleton is like a fucking amazing song. I love that song. I love the
Great
way
song.
how how cool Pusha sounds on it. Like he sounds confident as per usual, and he does sound like himself. And then yeah, Let the Smokers Shine the Coops. Cool song, really good
I
song.
love that song.
Um, German of the Pass, it's good. It's good. I feel like honestly the first two songs are like the highlight, and then it starts to go down a little bit. Neck and Wrist, Jay Z does fire. I mean I wasn't expecting to enjoy a Jay Z feature on this project, because the production in the first couple of tracks are a little bit like okay, that's fine. Just So You Remember just goes in and out of my ear. I don't really care about that track, because then he starts to switch to that like I'm about to give you a sermon, tap in. Like I don't know. I'm not tapping in. I don't like when Pusha tries to be so, I guess maybe prolific is the word, but I don't care for it. I just want to hear Pusha rap about cocaine and be cool about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care for when he's trying to preach to me. I'm not buying his gospel. Diet Coke is I will say a good single to lead up to this album. It's a fire song. I actually really do like it. But yeah, then Rock and Roll comes on. I'm sorry. That first entrance that Cuddy has, what the fuck is that, dude? What is that mixing? It sounds horrible. It sounds god awful. And then Ye comes in with these Donda ass vocals on this non Donda ass track. This dude.
Sorry, I was
Anyways,
saying I love Ye's feature. I love those type of vocals from him, but it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit,
it doesn't
and
fit. That's what I'm
it
saying.
doesn't save the song either because the rest of the song
Yeah.
is like complete ass cheeks. Like
And even then
it's just like
his verse is like trash. Like I'm sorry. Like
nah,
it's
man.
I don't like the verse. I think Cuddy did worse to be fair, but like yeah, Kanye. Also, leave it to fucking Twitter to create discourse about this Cudi and Ye track. Like, oh my goodness, like people started slandering Kid Cudi and like all this bullshit. Like, It was so funny to see people just ripping through when they both did not add to the track at all and severely took away from it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, literally everything from tracks 8 to 12, I don't give a fuck about. I don't care. I mean, like I said, the Scrape It Off is cool, but not for a Pusha T album. Like,
It's not even
I'm sorry.
cool. I don't
Yeah,
even.
I think the song's fine. It's serviceable for what it is, but not for a Pusha T album. Um, so yeah, like we go from Daytona to this, which I will say I love Daytona. It's actually a great project, but no, I'm sorry. This is just like it. I will say I will give it the fact that it is good, but only because of like the first maybe 5 tracks or so. Keep it at that good. But I could yeah, I get no 6. I will say Vaughn is exactly right. The first 6 tracks front loaded, and then I don't give a fuck. So half of this album is absolutely fire, somewhat, and then the other half is like fuck off. Like I don't care. So yeah. But now, Max, is your time to shine. Talk about
Look,
Pusha T. What did you
as I
think?
might, as much as I might take the piss about Pusha T, obviously because I'm a fucking huge Drake fan,
Yeah.
I fucking love clips.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot get enough of clips. Probably 2019 to 2021, I was listening to Hell Have No Fury nonstop. It was
Love that album.
multiple songs were on my on repeat playlist to like, and I would listen to that shit to work every single day. And I like this is for most part, this is why when I was listening to this album, I really did prefer the Pharrell produced tracks. I think that Pharrell just knows what suits Pusha T the best. And you were saying like you're not really caring for that kind of preachy kind of Pusha T on like a song like Just So You Remember, but like if I'm not mistaken, that's produced by Kanye. I just feel like Kanye puts Pusha T in a different headspace. Maybe Daytona is an exception, but on songs like yeah, Just So You Remember and what's the one with Labyrinth called?
I pray
I
for
pray
you.
for you.
I Pray for You and Dreaming of the Past was cool, but everyone says Dreaming of the Past was a highlight. If you listen to it's probably like one of Push's weakest performances on the album in my opinion. Whereas
Yeah.
on songs like my favorite song's Call My Bluff, like surprisingly. That song is
I
so
really like
like
that. Yeah.
it's really minimal by Pharrell's beat, but it gives Pusha the best platform to like talk his shit. And he just sounds so fucking cold on there. It's so sick. And
Yeah.
that's why I actually like Pusha T quite a lot. And I will say I enjoyed this album a lot, and I'm agreeing with you guys. 'Cause I'm looking at the track list right now. As soon as it gets to rock and roll, it just I have Call My Bluff, which I like, and I like the Lil Uzi Vert feature. But then after that, it just loses it for me.
Yep.
I really
Yep.
thought that Nego single did not get me at all. The Hear Me Clearly
Yeah.
did not like it. But that being said, Brambleton's sick. Let the Smokers Shine the Coop is a fucking sick song.
I
And
I wanted
yeah.
I wanted to mention like the last like minute of the song where the 808s fully hit is like so cool. Like that's maybe my
Yeah,
favorite
man.
song on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like
yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
most definitely that's Pusha at his best on this album is when he just sounds cold as fuck on some Pharrell production. Like Brambleton, I'm telling you, that's my favorite beat on this project. That beat is absurd to me. Like that, it's so cold. It fits Pusha so well. It's like a tight fitting shoe. Like it's perfect. You wouldn't want to change anything about it. It's so snug and it fits his voice so well. But yeah, I know. Like when he's producing tracks with Ye, it feels like it was 2 different studio sessions, one with Pharrell, one with Kanye. So
Yeah,
Pusha
I
was
can
in a
agree with that.
completely
Yeah.
different, like
Yeah.
like Max said, it's 2 different mindsets the entire time, and that just doesn't leave it to be coherent because you have these like Kanye tracks that are like that sample based. Like I believe, it was Rock and Roll that has that sample from that one really famous song. um I can't remember the name of the song it's sampling,
I
but
don't
like
know,
yeah, but
but it
either way,
just
like
sounds really awkward. Like that's
yeah,
that the beat
exactly.
sounds so unfinished. Like I feel like I could make that beat in like 5 minutes. It fucking sounds terrible to me.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how
um
it's like rock and roll, and even though I like the song, Dreaming of My Past wound it up on the same album as Drug Dealers Anonymous 2 or Neck and Wrist, and
Yeah.
songs like Brambleton and Diet Coke. Like, how did they all come together on the same album is just insane to me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with a lack of cohesion or anything like that. I think Kanye and Pharrell both had hits and misses on this album, to be honest. But
True.
I agree. They do sound like two different studio sessions. They do bring two different energies at some points, and maybe that could have improved the project if there was just a little more focus, because it really feels like it feels like he had some great ass songs, and then he had to finish an album, and he made like Hear Me Clearly really shouldn't have been on the album. Open Air feels like Pusha T just on like on autopilot, like an AI generated Pusha T song. Like he
Yeah.
literally starts a song
Open Air is the
selling
most-
cocaine in the open air. Like I was just like rolling my eyes already, bro. Like
Especially
yeah, I don't
when
know.
that's the 12th, like the 11th song, and
Exactly. It's
not
like
that
it's at that point. It's
um,
like, bro, like I'm just tired.
It's like
get
wrap it up.
I'm
Yeah.
done with the coke talk, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's enough.
I
Yeah.
will say, even though the Pray for You song, it's not the best. That Malice verse was sick. Every
do-
time that
yeah.
I hear Malice now, it like a little bit of me warms up, even though I think the song on Jesus is King is terrible.
I was
Even-
gonna
Yeah.
mention it's funny how they both united on such fucking bizarre songs. Like
Yeah.
they're just two songs that don't fit them either at all. And like they both kill it, and they're both the highlights of the songs.
Use this gospel is clear if I pray for you. Like
I agree. No, because
I'm sorry, I love Use
funny
This
as fuck.
Gospel. No,
It's
no,
funny as fuck.
I think that song goes hard. I love that song.
I love Malice, and it was really cool to see him rap again. But I think "Use This Gospel" might be my least favorite Kanye song. Just
Nah, I'm sorry. Kenny G ate and left no crumbs on
G
that
ate-
song.
Yeah,
He ate
Kenny
on
G
that
ate.
one. Like Kenny G went crazy, and then when the beat comes in with the seatbelt 808, and it's like, oh my
Bro.
dude, I'm sorry.
I'm just
Yeah.
confused. Like it was like the Malice verse, and then it just stops abruptly. The beat stops, and it's just Kenny
No,
G.
I would have agreed with you. Like I would have agreed with you like a year or two ago, but it's honestly like when I listen to Jesus is King now. This is a whole nother thing, but I just
Yeah.
love it for how fucking just like it's
Absurd it
just
is.
bizarre. It's just like funny
Yeah.
to me. It just
It's
makes
just
me
like-
laugh. But
It's just like Kanye. It's just like Kanye texted Kenny G to like do something real quick, and he
It's-
like
yeah.
dragged it into his iPhone. And he
the
was like,
song
boom.
structure, the structure of that song is something to study for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but
Yeah.
coming back to Pusha T, the song I was thinking of was Just So You Remember. Like it's just that fucking tomorrow never comes
I
until it's
think
too
that song is
late.
great. Actually,
I
like
like the
the song,
sample,
but I
but
get
it
what you're
definitely
saying.
shows a different production
It
style
is.
compared to
It's
Pharrell.
like in between Neck and Wrist, and even Diet Coke, which is another Kanye inclusion on
Yeah.
the song. Like it is kind of a there's definitely a disconnect between some of
Yeah.
the songs.
Kanye's just kind of being like a sample merchant on this project with like Pharrell is really
Yeah.
not reliant on the samples.
Like-
Like
Well, I
they
think
even-
Daytona he utilizes samples in a perfect way.
in a perfect way,
And
but this one it just
fucking-
feels
it fits, but it's definitely like a different style of production even for
Yeah.
Kanye.
this one is just kind of like serviceable, I suppose, rather than like it doesn't feel half-assed, but it's like it's fine,
Some of them
I guess.
feel half-assed.
Yeah, I will say yeah.
Make it clear, like I enjoyed Dreaming of the Past, but it did feel like Kanye was kind of showing off on Pusha T's album. Like that beat gave him no room to breathe.
Yeah.
like-
I really like that album. I really like beats like that or that song.
I
But-
do too, but again, for Pusha T's standard, it gave him no room to breathe. You can even look at some songs off like Hell Hath No Fury, like Mama, I'm So Sorry, where it has this just fucking obscure, like really obnoxious instrumental going about, but
Yeah.
it gives Pusha T room to breathe still. And even though I wouldn't consider the Kanye beat obnoxious, it overshadowed Pusha T completely.
I can
Well-
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the song, but That was my issue with the
I
same.
really enjoy the song, but definitely Pusha T, like it just doesn't really fit on the album, and I kind of
Like,
see your point there. It's
and I liked spots on Daytona. Like Daytona did grow off me from initially. But I do like what Daytona delivered with the Kanye production because I feel like Kanye was suiting to Push's style more. And I liked what Pharrell did here because it really reminded me of songs like Mr. Me Too and stuff like Riding Around Shining, where the
yes,
beat isn't all that much,
yeah,
but it's enough like to be interesting but keep you tapped into what Pusha T is saying. And I feel like that Pharrell did that perfectly here. Maybe with Scrape the Bowl being the exception. Those are just
yeah. Scrape it
that
off.
was just a bit of a wild song to put on the album. But yeah, we need to have a conversation about Kid Cudi. It's just
Uh, bro needs
I
to
don't know.
look.
I
He needs
defend
to.
Kid Cudi a lot, but this feature just
dude.
wasn't it, man. I
He
don't
just
know.
needs to make the
I
jump
don't
to
have a problem with
acting.
Cudi, but
Like it's obvious he wants to go be an actor, right? Like he's been an X. He's been in so much shit last year and this year. Like bro, like
I mean, to
retire,
be fair,
rap,
he said this
retire.
song was made a year ago, so
Yeah, that's true.
let's
But
be
like
fair.
he should have re-listened to it, been like, hey, Pusha, bro, like hold on, like hold up.
Take that
Um,
off.
but actually, really quickly, I do want to talk about Pusha T's lyricism and kind of the way he delivers lines really quickly. I I get tired of the way Pusha always does these like rhetorical question kind of things. He's like, "Who are you to convince?" Like, I don't know, tell
Yeah,
me. Like he raps by asking you a question and it's kind of annoying. And he also finds so many ways to just like talk about selling cocaine like on the rock and roll song he goes, "I've been getting at these coins as I'm breaking down the brick, make the jump to each level Super Mario exists." Like bro, like I'm sorry bro, that line is so
I
corny.
did want
Like
to say like I think his rapping is really good throughout the album, but it's definitely not as sharp as it was in
Yeah,
clips on Daytona. Like Daytona to me just feels like the fucking perfect combination of it. Like everything, like he's on his A game. This album, it's like some songs like Brambleton, he's on fire, but um I don't know, for the most part it's just feels like a level below what he's usually
yeah.
at for some reason.
I didn't want to say it, but this is easily one of his weakest
I think
lyricism.
as far as rapping, yeah, this is probably the worst I've heard him, and it's
it's
still
it,
not
Rapping,
bad. It's not
hey,
bad at all, but
rapping, I actually think I like it. I think he's changing it up a bit and trying to show a bit of diversity, and his
I like
delivery is really
songs like
good.
Neck and Wrist and Call My Bluff. He does that really well,
And
and
his
changes his
hooks
flow up a
on
little
this
bit. But
album are so much better than any other album.
his
Maybe,
hooks, yeah, yeah,
maybe apart from the clip stuff, but
yeah, right.
his hooks here are so good. Like that neck
I
and wrist
agree
hook
for
had me
sure.
in a
Yeah,
trance.
yeah.
But his lyricism just wasn't there for me. And
Yeah.
I think though going back to the point that you were saying, Anthony, he's kind of that very if you know rapper, obviously Daytona. And I feel like that's where he tries to target his audience towards. And it makes sense because when he said that bar about J. Cole fan base, I wish I had J. Cole's fan base. I didn't I didn't interpret that as like a popularity thing. I thought it was a more like, you know, I need to be so specific with the way I rap that because this is how my fan base is. But
Yeah.
yeah, that part.
I just
I thought he wanted a nice fan base.
yeah, I thought it was like he wants
I
some
thought
people who like
thought he
dick
wanted
ride him
like
so hard.
or like a loyal fan base. You
Cuz
know,
no one's
Um,
really dying on
I
the
don't
hill
know.
of Pusha T like
Not people are, bro. I think people are, but maybe not as much as J Cole.
yeah, maybe not as much as J. Cole. I don't know. And like I said, like bro, I'm sorry. When you're comparing yourself to the Joker, like come on, bro. Like
That was fire. That was
Joker
fire.
smile, you know
no,
I'm the villain now.
That
I'm
Oh
was
the trap,
fire.
I'm the fix, I'm the broker, I'm the Joker. In the deck, Arthur Fleck when he's pissed 666. I don't
Fire.
know, dude. His
what did
rapping
he
just doesn't
say
really
in
do it
that
for me.
interview that he would watch the Joker muted? while
Yeah.
riding the album.
Yeah. That's
Is that for
that's
real?
yes.
That's so fire.
Didn't he like
That's so,
literally
that
in
explains
his
the album a
one of
lot.
his newest music videos? Didn't he like dress up as the Joker? Like I could have sworn I
There was
saw
a
like
lot
a
of
picture.
reference shots to the Joker. So
Yeah. Also, we need to talk about it. I always talk. I try and bring it up. The cover.
I love the cover art. I
Co-
don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I love the cover art. I love the single covers. The aesthetic is just cool as shit. I like it a lot.
I don't know. It
And
just.
I knew you're gonna hate on it, but
I'm not
I
hating
think
on
it's
it.
a
I'm
I
no
think
no
it's
no
a
no 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 no.
unique art style, and it's really cool.
I'm not hating on it, but like, what we could have had was much better. I think.
People say that Lana Del Rey with cocaine on her face is better, but there's just no way. Like that's so like bland. Like this is at least
No,
unique.
it was kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like
It-
super
it-
minimal
it's
album
a little
cover.
hard, but it's just been done before. I don't
I,
know.
I guess, but I don't know. It's just kind of like a whatever cover to me. I don't outwardly hate it, but it's just like kind of whatever. Like it's there, you know.
I think it's better than a lot of his past covers. I'll say that.
What like
Like,
The Darkest Before Dawn?
dude, Darkest Before Dawn looks like a fan made cover. 100%.
Yeah.
I really like that cover too. I think all of his covers are great, actually.
Even Fear
Yeah.
of God. Even Fear of God too.
Well,
Fear
maybe
of
not Fear of
God,
God
that's
too.
cover.
It's just kind of like
Yeah.
a bland mixtape type of
Yeah.
cover. But
Yeah, true.
I
But
think
yeah, no,
My Name is My
I
Name
don't
is
know.
cool.
that's
like
fair.
the cover. Daytona is
I guess if I
iconic.
was gonna
So
summarize like my overall thoughts, I'm probably like numbers wise, I'm feeling 7 because I did enjoy a majority of it, but there's a fair few clear issues for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'll give it like a good probably for
yeah,
me.
it's kind of for me passing the threshold of like a pretty good album, but it's just like it's there's so many, I don't know, just like clearly like 5 tracks I just don't like. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
even if the rest is great, I think there is a good like Daytona length 7-track album here that would be really good and probably a highlight of the year for me. But
See, the only track
Yeah.
I'd say I wouldn't like is Rock and Roll. But then like stuff like Open Air, it's
Mhm.
not like it's a great track, but it's like the most Pusha T track ever.
Open Air is just
Yeah.
like it's definitely not bad, but
Yeah.
at that point in the album, and it's just like I said earlier, I think this puts it the best way. It's an AI generated Pusha T song. Like it's just
Yeah.
everything he does like just like on autopilot. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm done talking about Pusha T. He's
I guess
irrelevant.
CLB
He fell off.
better.
Drake
CLB better.
Drake is always on
Drake
top.
better.
I love Drake. I love Drake. So
I mean, in all honesty,
I'm putting both Pusha T and Drake like top 20, maybe top 15 of all time for me.
really, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Drake's top
Pushes
5.
nowhere near. Drake is clear for me, I'm afraid. So
Drake's top 5. Pusha's probably top 20 for me.
That's
Just
respectable.
okay.
Clips alone puts him in top 15.
I
top 10.
love Clips. Hell
That's
Health No
fair.
Fury is also an amazing album.
Hell
Yeah.
Have No
So-
Fury is probably like top 10 favorite rap albums for me. It's fucking
that's
Yeah.
fair.
generational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Max, bro,
Generational.
I need you to give me your top 3 on this album.
Call the Bluff.
Okay.
Let the Smokers Shine the Coops. And I'm gonna go Neck and Wrist. I think Neck and Wrist just beats out Diet Coke for me.
Fair.
That's fair.
I love
I'm
the
gonna
hook
go
on Neck and Wrist.
Let the Smokers Shine the Coops. I don't know. I don't really have a clear ranking of these 3, but they're definitely my favorite. Let the Smokers Shine the Coops and the 2 singles, Neck and Wrist, Diet Coke. Just
That's fair.
Fire. Leading up to the album, I was loving those songs. So
I'm gonna take Brambleton, and I'm gonna take Let the Smoker Shine the Coops, and then I'll take Diet Coke. That's my top 3. I think it's pretty fair,
top
average. Straight of the road, but it's time we talk about our Twitter picked album. We want to thank Benj or Cat Guy Jose for recommending this album. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. The album we're going to be talking about is 700 Degrees by Black Kray. And I guess I'll open it up. I listened to this album for my very, very famous, very respected review era, Music Core Essentials
Prestigious.
reviews. Currently, it's sitting at 2,697 views on Rate Your Music. A lot of people tapped into it. A lot of people read my reviews. I think a lot of people were happy. My first, I I listened to the project, and my first thoughts of it, the first time I ever listened, was like, I can't say I love it, but it does want to make me listen to more Kray. So ever since then, I never listened to another Black Kray project. Actually, I never did. Um, because unfortunately, there's
He's
only so
balling.
much. There's only so much Black Kray I mean, cloud rap a man can listen to. Um, I
Yeah.
I was getting back into Drain Gang. You know what I'm saying? I was getting drained a little bit. Um, getting a little. I was getting a little electronic. Happy fun dance jump music. Um, and also the fact 700 degrees that would kill you. So kind of misleading. But anyways, I re-listened to it for this project because I had never touched it again since I listened to it. And I'm gonna be honest, my thoughts are quite the same. I unfortunately like this is kind really long. It's really long. And a lot of tracks just kind of go in and out for me, and I'm just kind of like okay with it. Like there's some tracks where I was like, oh, that was insane. Tracks like Seven Roses, tracks like H1 Soldiers, tracks like Lil Kim, all of the tracks. There's like some amazing shit to take away from here. But unfortunately, it's just like really long and it feels kind of bloated to me. And in all honesty, as far as Black Kray is concerned, like he's not really someone who is really standing out to me. Um, if this is considered to be his best that I've seen some people say, or one of his best, I don't know how much I would enjoy some of his other projects going into them. Um, but like overall, it's still like really good for what it is. But I just think that like it's just kind of bloated and it doesn't hit the marks for me for what I would want. Vaughn, is there an issue?
Shut up. Just shut up.
I'm
God.
sorry.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry.
Shut
I'm
up.
sorry. You can have the floor to talk if you
God.
want.
Fucking.
You can have the floor to talk.
Okay.
Okay?
I will say, just for the record, Anthony, he has different sounds throughout
Different
his
sounds.
career.
Okay,
Yeah.
Check out
good.
Crack Clouds. Check out
Yeah, Crack
Ice
Clouds
Cream
is
and
so
Mac
much
10s.
different.
Both of those
Yeah.
albums are very different from this. I do like this more than those though, and I love this album and I love this style of cloud rap because it is just so hypnotic and dreamy, and it's such a unique atmosphere. I've not heard another album other than Thug Angel, which is kind of the follow up to this album, but I haven't heard anything else like it that puts me in the specific mood that this album does. It's just so unique, and I think you say it's bloated, but I actually kind of have the opposite effect where the more I listen, the more I just get immersed in it, and by the time it's over, I feel like I could listen to it for like another hour, and
Yeah.
I just fucking love the atmosphere of this album. I do like Thug Angel a little bit more from him. I think it's a little more concise. I think like this album takes a little bit to get into. I think it's a little bit to get started, even though like the first few tracks are great. They just kind of feel like a different vibe to me slightly, and once it gets into like the second half of the album with like Lil Shine and Lil Kim and like Seven Roses and shit, like that's where I get really sucked into it and start to like really love it. But I think it's a great album, and it's such a unique vibe, and his vocals and just the way it's mixed and stuff is just so cool. Um, I love Black Kray, man. I don't
What
know.
what I will
I love
say
Black
is
Kray.
I think maybe this project isn't hitting the marks for me, but that isn't to say I don't think there's a Black Kray project that I can find that I will love.
I think you
Like
might fuck
like I
with
feel like I feel like
Crack Clouds a lot
Hey,
more.
yeah,
When
and also
you
maybe
said that, I thought
yeah.
you would be a Crack Clouds. I think you would much prefer Crack Clouds over this.
Yeah, cause my major thing is that just like it's a really cool atmosphere and it has a lot going for it, but I just think that there's so many tracks and I'm not that big of a Black Crave fan yet to the point where it just kind of just like kind of just becomes that atmosphere and that kind of background music for me. It's just kind of like there for me, and it doesn't really move me like other cloud rap kind of contemporaries do. So yeah, but I mean, I like for example, I really love a Chris Travis because his production is like really absurd to me, and as you can see, I have him back there because he's on that project. He's on Pizza and Codeine. I love what he does on there. Um, that project I love because the production is really fucking cool, and like Chris Travis is very in and out. He serves on all his marks for me, and it's just absolutely fire. And Black Kray has those kind of elements here on this project, but for me it doesn't hit the marks that I want it to per se. So I think definitely I just need to find other Black Kray projects, and so that's why I say my thoughts kind of remain the same. I need to, this makes me hyped to want to tap into other stuff, and then when I feel like I'm a Black Kray fan fully, I can come back to this, and I think then I'll see the light of it. But like just right now, it doesn't really stick with me all that much. Like it's not it doesn't resonate with me in any way. But Max, give me your thoughts, bro.
Yeah, you two are definitely right. This what like okay, you were right that you need to return to this like
Hmm.
after you indulged a little more in Black Kray, and
Yeah.
Vaughn was right that geez, this album took me a while to get into because when I first got into Black Kray, I thought Ice Cream and Mac 10s was like the only album that was at all digestible by him because everything else was way too like outlandish for me.
Yeah.
And I've now like realized that Black Kray sits on that like kind of spectrum of cloud rap where it's that really atmospheric shit that obviously like your Blades, your Thai Boys, and your Young Lanes are trying to do. And then your other side, which is going way too far with the genre, where they're going way too like wild and incoherent, where you can't really like. For me, it's too much. I've
Yeah.
putting out like stuff like Cardia God is just way too
Yeah,
much for me.
He's
Where
fire
it,
though.
understandable.
Don't get
but
it
no,
twisted. He's
okay,
fire to me.
I actually like Cardia God in
Yeah.
really small doses. I can't
Okay. That's fair.
like I can listen to a full album, but like testing me trying to get me to listen to like another album or something
Do
like
you do
that.
you like Vapor Drip? Do you like Vapor Drip?
I have not listened.
It's
That's
like
a, that's a
10 minutes.
completely
It's like
different vibe
it is
from his other
different
stuff. So.
from his sound, but like it's absurd how great that
I heard
project
he has
is.
a house album as well, which is
Cartier in the
just
House, that goes hard. Cartier in the
I
House
haven't
goes
heard that
hard.
one.
It's fire.
but
He has a jazz album too. He just recently released a jazz album. Um so yeah, Cartier God,
but
what a guy. But
like
but anyways, not to go back to it, Max, my bad.
yeah, no, you're good. But like, I actually have really grown to like this album. I just think there's bangers. Like, honestly, I'm looking at the track list on my other monitor. It's 30K Uzi is like got one of the most catchy hooks,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's so it like brings you in. But then I have issues with this album because when you get to songs like I don't know when it gets into that kind of like Fug Love, H1 Soldiers, and All White Rain. If you're not paying too much attention, I feel like the tracks just blend and conglomerate into one. If you get what I mean, like
Yeah.
it has an atmosphere. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's not enough to distinguish some tracks from another. And then it like really wakes you up when you get to 30 Golf Tears, or it really wakes you up when you get to Lil Shine and Lil Kim. And then while it's a different vibe, it kind of wakes you up again when you get to that Blade album, which I think is like
Seven
what
Roses, yeah.
yeah, Seven Roses. He's just trying to get that vibe. It really does just kind of put you into a mental space where you're like, this is really chilled out and kind of nice. And I think he like I really do compare him a lot to Lil B more than like anything like Blade or anything. Is he does a really good job of not only combining like southern rap and like he combines like southern rap and cloud rap, which obviously go hand in hand, but then kind of brings in like that gangster rap kind of rap element. I feel like on some tracks which makes this album a really cool cloud rap album for me. It's a lot different and a lot more digestible than I feel like what 90% of other cloud rap artists are putting out for me.
Yeah, that's true. And that actually leads me. So then, have you heard Chris Travis, Max, like Pizza and Codeine? I would definitely say tap into that because their sounds are kind of not so
Yeah.
much similar, but like they're definitely adjacent to each other. Um, So yeah, I would say listen to him, but I will agree on all those fronts. Like I said, don't get me wrong. This is like a really good project. I enjoyed it for the time that I had on. It's just that like when I finish it, I'm just kind of like I don't have too many takeaways with it. I don't get like I'm not getting much out of it by the time I finish it. And so maybe if I just continue to listen to it, then it'll start to inch its way into like me loving it and such like that. But yeah, you were
I,
definitely right on all fronts.
as weird as this sounds, I found I enjoyed it most when I was driving because obviously when I'm driving, I'm a very responsible driver. I don't text or anything, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of just is me and Black Kray. And then that's when I'm really like tapping in to each
Yeah.
song and
No,
I'm
that
like
makes perfect
really
sense. Yeah.
taking it in. And it's kind of not putting me because I actually listened to it 2 nights ago, like just to give it a refresh for me because it's been a while since I listened. I knew I'd had to talk about it, and I was doing it while just chilling on my computer and like browsing shit. And it kind of got me with that again, where it puts me into that atmosphere where I'm just like chilling. It sounds really great, but I'm not paying much attention to it. But when I was driving with it, I was like listening. It's so good. I love it. I
I
really
think
do
for
enjoy it.
sure, yeah, I think for sure, if there's one thing that I had to say, is maybe a flaw with this album is that there are a few tracks throughout the runtime that just don't don't fit the atmosphere as well as others, and they kind of like wake you up, like you said. It kind of like, especially early on in the album, I think there's just a few tracks that are maybe a like little too minimal or like little maybe not spacey enough. And I think for me, that's why the second half of the album is where I start to like really fucking get my
Yeah,
mind blown a little bit, because I think it becomes more consistent and just more of like a hypnotic, mesmerizing experience. But I still those tracks that kind of wake me up, I still really enjoy, so it's
yeah.
not as much of a problem. But I think, yeah, it maybe could have cut out a few tracks or resequenced the album a little bit.
But then
So
again, it's a mixtape. Like for a
that's true.
mixtape effort, I don't like. At least when I see a mixtape, I perceive it as the artist isn't trying as much to like formate it into a
Yeah,
really great listening experience. And while
yeah,
obviously you can criticize them on that, it's always good to consider it. And I
Yeah.
feel like what he was trying to do with this, he kind of nailed it on the head. Even if as a listening experience, it can kind of take away from how much you value it. It does nail that atmosphere really well, in my opinion.
yeah.
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 Nah, that's fair. I just like yeah, I think definitely I'll probably have to listen to Crack Clouds then, or Vaughn's favorite I believe is Thug Angel. Like
Yeah, I would definitely recommend Thug Angel. If Max, have you heard Thug Angel? Because
Yeah.
yeah,
Funk
I
Funk
don't
is
know if you
much
agree
more
with
like
me,
the
but
same thing, but more concise. So I feel like you can
yeah.
take it in without like losing it. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's not as much of those kind of wake up tracks. It's just kind of
Yeah.
all the way through, like this unique atmosphere that he creates. And I find that, honestly, I find some of the songs on there like kind of powerful to me, like emotionally. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like it feels kind of like a spiritual ass album. Like the album cover has him with like the doves in the sky and shit. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah,
I don't know, man. It's kind of,
him just
but
standing there.
this, even though 700 Degrees to me has always felt like almost like the little brother or of Thug Angel, just kind of like more, maybe more accessible, but maybe also not as concise for me. But it still achieves like a similar vibe, and definitely hits, like the highs are like definitely,
The highs
dude.
on the album are so insane.
Miles just called me and fucked up and blocked Max. Blocked Max's face.
That's okay.
What
That's
a
okay.
fucking troll, bro.
Curse you, Sizato. We fucking hate you, bro. Anyways, sorry about that, Vaughn. Go ahead.
Stop calling me. God, fucking God.
Let me hold on.
No,
I'll text.
go ahead. Yeah, text him.
Yeah. Continue. No, you were talking, Vaughn.
No, I'm kind of done. I was just
Okay.
saying, Thug Angel, I like a little more, but I love both albums a lot.
I
Yeah.
think I think obviously I'm not that well versed in this kind of subsection of cloud rap, but
Yeah.
and probably like I feel like Black Kray, he does what other artists try to do like tenfolds better. He just has it down to a pack. Like he knows what he's doing. He's
Yeah,
got his
I
shit
hear
together.
it.
I feel like other artists kind of just try. I don't think Black Kray gets in and meticulously plans everything he does, and but I feel like other artists try go in do something similar, but then just miss on all fronts. Like he really knows what he's doing with these ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally agree. Um, just captures that energy. I don't know.
yeah,
And
facts.
also I like I find it. I wanted to say I find it interesting that people find Crack Clouds and like Ice Cream Mac 10s more accessible because to me those albums are like way weirder. Like they have like the whole first half of a song will be like a spoken word thing or like a sample from like a random person talking and just shit like that. And they're a lot more all over the place, but also I can kind of see why that would maybe be more
I feel
appealing
like
because there's just more to grab onto.
I feel like the way people get into cloud rap though is they most of the right now they hear Blade and then they
Yeah.
get on that kind of Drain Gang wave and that Drain Gang high and try find something similar to it because they want to hear more stuff like Drain Gang. And usually, what the next thing that you'll get referred is either Lil B, maybe some ASAP Rocky, and then Black Kray. And like if you're listening to a shit ton of music and you're like a rate your music nerd or whatever, hearing 700 degrees that kind of atmosphere would be so much harder to digest than maybe something like I don't know Daydream off Crack Clouds. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
more people would be more accessible to Daydream, like which is just a fucking weird ass track, than a lot of the shit on because it's really sleepy the stuff on 700 degrees. And then
Yeah.
I feel like you hear songs like Broke Designer, which is just super like gangster rap. That's all it's really like. And what's the other song? Drop. Drop. I feel like everyone could easily get Drop. But there's no real song like that on 700 Degrees for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's an interesting point because definitely I think me and Anthony, by the time we heard this, we were kind of already drenched in the fucking reggae
Yeah,
music
the
and
ethos
we've
of
already
cloud
heard
rap,
like
man.
Blade's discography and shit like that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
um,
think that's
yeah,
kind of a weird thing about it is that that's a lot of drop point for cloud rap fans. It's Blade. People that is the kind of entrance artist, which actually I wouldn't say is a great entrance artist, unfortunately,
yeah, I don't think so
because
because cloud
Blade
rap is a lot
is
different.
yeah,
Like
Blade
before
is
Blade.
really innovative in his own kind of lane, very much so. I mean, there's a whole other. Blade was one of the early people to come into cloud rap, but there was still a lot of people predating him, like your Vipers, like your Lil
I
B's.
think yeah, Lil B and ASAP Rocky would definitely be
Yeah,
my
and
recommended
even Black
starting
Kray to
point.
some degree, he was still doing the sound that America was holding on to with with cloud rap, and that's just
America.
yeah, because I mean he was Blades in Sweden, he's kind of doing his own thing in his own
America
lane.
loves cloud rap.
America loves cloud. I would get that on a shirt. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of hard.
That's
Do you
That would
fire.
think
be
Chair guys merch.
Chair Guys merch America loves cloud
Coming
rap
soon. Coming
coming
soon.
up soon? But no, like overall, I mean not overall. Yeah, I do agree with like Blade maybe might not be the best drop point. If anything, I'd really say start with like Lil B and almost like
little bit.
maybe almost like chronologically kind of go through cloud rap almost to
I
see
I
think
where
chronologically is
it's
great.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need to go from where it started to where it is now because like
yeah,
if I feel like if like because I feel like a lot of people that for me example I knew Lil B before I knew Blade and I knew
Same.
Lil
yeah,
B before I knew any other cloud rap artist. I knew
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky before any because I only really started listening to Blade, you know, in 2020 or in shit.
Same.
So
Yeah.
I like knew I'm God by like, and I knew what I was. Clams Casino at that point was one of my favorite producers, and still is one of my favorite producers ever. He's so sick. And then when I heard this new style of cloud rap, I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is." It took me a while to get it. My first Blade experience was not positive. I'll say that much. I thought it was terrible, and now I really like it. But that's what I mean. You kind of have to follow the progression because you would not understand Black Kray if you didn't listen to Lil B.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that to an extent. I think
I'm
we
not
should get
saying
a
Black
move on a
Kray.
little bit.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think we should get a move on a little bit.
Yeah.
We
I'll give
spent
you-
a
I'll
little,
give you-
little long on this, you know.
Yeah.
I know it's a sleepy album, but we don't want a sleepy podcast. So
Yeah,
that's all I'm
exactly.
saying.
Okay,
That's all
I'll
I'm
give you
saying.
my top 3. We're gonna take it fast. We're gonna go fast. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, top 3. Here we go. 7 Roses. I'm going Little Kim, and then I'm gonna go Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart's my third favorite track. Boom. That's my top 3. Boom. That's my top 3.
Okay.
Fawn, go.
Lil Shine, 7 Roses, and Young Six Speed.
Great selection. Okay, Max, go.
30K Uzi, Lil Shine, 7 Roses.
That's
Not fast
fire.
enough.
Yeah.
Not fast
Disqualified.
enough, bud.
You're
Not
kicked off
fa-
the podcast.
You're it. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so
Get me
much
outta here.
for coming out to the Cherry Guys podcast. That's it. You're done. You're done. Okay, but no, actually, in reality, we have one more album to talk about. Classic album. Actually, I'm very hyped that we brought on Max, and I'm hyped that he picked this album because if you're not following the Max lore, you know his favorite album. It's a Schoolboy Q album. You know what I'm saying? Is it still? It's still right.
Yeah, it's still my
Okay.
favorite.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
Schoolboy Q. So I was actually expecting him to pick that, but he didn't actually. He picked an album that.
Picked an actual classic. No disrespect, Schoolboy Q.
Oh,
It's no disrespect because it came out like 5 years ago, right?
I would have picked that album, but nobody else would consider it a classic, probably. But
Yeah,
other than-
it's rare that we get a genuine fucking classic on this show.
Yeah, because ladies and gentlemen,
because everyone picks like some bullshit. But
yeah,
Well,
because
It's an
this
actual
truly
classic.
is this
It's a
truly
true
is
classic.
kind of a classic right here. So the album
sure.
we're gonna be talking about, and like I said, it was very interesting because I don't think we'd get any other chance to talk about it unless someone picked it as a classic.
Mhm.
But the album is Dizzee Rascal from the UK. Boy in the Corner, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute classic. Absolute
I
monumental, standing the test of time. But I'm not letting me take the floor. I want Max. Max, bro, why is this a classic? Why does it resonate with you so hard?
Because my opinion is the only one that matters, and it's my second favorite album of all time after the Schoolboy Q one. But in all seriousness, this, like, oh god, obviously I was only 3 years old when this one came out, but
I wasn't born yet, so
Yeah.
I was -1.
I was -1.
fucking hell, it's so easy to look back and be like, how did he make this in 2003? Because this is like, we think of all these generational British artists like the Beatles, you know, Spice Girls, anything like that. And what I think of is Dizzee Rascal. He made like an entire genre. Like, obviously UK rap exists before that, but then he really made that kind of UK garage and grime. He built on what was there and made something completely unique from it. And it's not enough justice to just listen to the beats and be like, yeah, he was ahead of his time. It's so easy to look at songs like I Love You and be like, how the fuck did he make that? Obviously, we all think that. But it's like, it's genuinely mind fucking blowing. But at that age, you also have to consider like his lyricism. He, on songs like even the intro track,
Sitting here. Sitting here.
Sitting here.
Sit in here, yeah, sit in here. It's like the way he just perceives the world is insane. And if you pay attention to his like rhyme schemes, and if you try ignore the fact that he has the strongest British accent over these really hardcore beats, like listen to what he's saying. The rhyme schemes are insane. What he's saying is crazy. We're Too Far with Wiley. He has 2 absolutely mental verses on there, and Wiley, I'm guessing, like, just looked at Dizzee Rascal and was like, "What the fuck?" And that's what made him make like his debut is what was his Treading on Ice, I think it was, and it really just shows because if you listen to any grime album now, I know that UK drill is starting to overshadow grime with popularity, but if you listen to all the grime that came out in your early 2000s and especially in that mid 2000s when it got really popular, you'll just hear Dizzee Rascal all over it. It's impossible to hear without listening to this album when you listen to this album. I think songs got to get the track list up just to jog my memory, but like songs like "I Love You," they no need to say it's probably my favorite song of all time. Honestly,
That song, I just want to say, like, specifically that song, one of the best beat drops ever, one of the best beats ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fucking like every
It's
time I listen to the album, I gotta replay that song like at least once or twice.
it's so
Yeah.
abrasive and in your face, and I think we're gonna have a lot of correlation when we all talk about our favorite tracks. I think it's
Yeah.
everyone's favorite track here
I
currently
think
on the project.
like,
Yeah.
and you can't even blame people. Like that was
Yeah.
the thing. Like I'm not sure if you there's a really good YouTube video on there. It's like 10 minutes on how Dizzee Rascal made "Boy in the Corner," and that was the first song he ever made, and that just absolutely blows my mind. Like obviously he was experimenting, but that's what he came out with. Like,
Yeah.
and
It does kind of make sense because that's like the blueprint. That's like
Yeah.
the conception of grime. But
Yeah.
I feel like that does steal the show a bit because if you go down the track list, "Hold Your Mouth" is possibly the most like insanely delivered song in my
Yeah.
opinion, like from a delivery standpoint.
yeah.
And then "Round We Go" is absolutely like it will spin your head. The way he captures you and like just kind of drives you down this mental spiral. It's absolutely brutal. Like I don't know what he was on to make this album, but yeah, he made a genre with this album. By definition, classic.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I just want to say, because I re-listened to it, and yeah, I know my at first when I re-listened to it yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, and I was like, oh man, I think this is kind of growing off me. And I was kind of worried about that. But then I re-listened yesterday and this morning, and like it was like, no, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, this is absurd. And like I said, "I Love You" is one of the best fucking songs to play when you're in the car going
Yeah.
somewhere, and just that fucking drop, bro. I I don't care what part it is. I will sing the girl parts from the top of my fucking lungs. Sometimes I'll let Dizzy do the talking, and I bring in the girl parts, and I'm like, bro, like I'm sorry, "I Love You" is like, I don't know, dude. I think everyone needs to at least listen to that song growing up before they
Yeah.
fucking die, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I,
And
another thing also is there is a weird discourse about grime which makes no fucking sense to me, whether it is a hip hop genre or an electronic genre. There's like two camps of people that are like, yeah, it's obviously hip hop. What the fuck are they doing on the beats if not rapping? But then there's also a group of people who are like, no, it's straight electronic music. Like hip hop is it's not. It's weird discourse that I don't even know why is really brought up, but I was pestered about it so much one time because I made a TikTok recommending people albums and shit like that, and I was like, yeah, here's a hip hop album that I really love, "Boy in the Corner," and I got so many fucking hate comments like, this shit is not hip hop, it's
That's so
electronic.
bizarre.
And I
That's
was
so
like, then explain to me what he is doing on the beats. Like, what is he doing on "I Love You"? He's
yeah.
talking fast in a rhythm that
And
like
there's some definitely some like hip hop beats on here. Like
yeah,
I mean, I don't know why I said it like that. Sorry, that was
yeah.
very odd. Like it was like a
I
demon
didn't even
possessed me.
notice it. You're tripping up on
But
yourself.
yeah, I don't know. There are definitely some like electronic, more electronic leaning beats, like
Yeah,
fucking hard style, like EDM type of
yeah,
shit. But there's
Big
definitely some
Sam
just like straight up kind of hip hop songs. Like just a Rascal is pretty hip hop. Sitting here.
in here.
I
I'm
mean,
just
I don't
sitting
know.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
and
he's
then
rapping obviously,
is
and
the
that's kind
UK
of
version of grinding.
yeah,
Like, listen to the
oh
beat; it's the exact same.
yeah.
yeah, and then another thing I want to
That's
add.
obviously not taking away from Dizzy. I doubt Dizzy was like listening to a Clips album and like, yeah, I'm gonna copy that.
No,
But
it's a lot different, but it definitely has like the same vibe.
the drum
Yeah,
pattern is the
yeah.
main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing I love is his sampling choice. Like on Seems to Be, he literally samples Sonic slowing down. Like when you get hit, that's so fucking
That's so
fire.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's so cool. I love his ear. Like Dizzee Rascal's ear is so fucking unique because it's just like his voice. It is very abrasive and in your face, and the production matches that, and sometimes almost even drowns him out, which is absurd. And actually though, I think isn't Seems to Be the only track that isn't produced by him? So I could
No, no,
actually
no.
be wrong.
That's just a rascal.
Okay, just a Rascal. My bad then. Yeah, because no. I love his ear on this project so fucking much because that really attests to how he is also like as a producer and just kind of all that kind of shit. Um, but yeah, no, like I said, his rapping and I mean just literally, if this album slightly intrigues you, just listen to I Love
And
You and
I
let
want to
your ears
also
be blown
say,
away.
if the production is not influential enough for you, the fucking vocals, like his delivery is so unique. I've
Yeah,
never heard anything else like it, except
yeah,
like he's paving the way for people like Danny Brown. I think like people don't
yeah,
really touch on that often,
If
but
people
I
want,
feel
if
like
people
his
want
vocals
to
are so
debate,
unique.
if people want to debate how influential his vocals is, listen to Wiley's verse on Too Far, and then listen to Wiley on his albums. It's
Yeah,
completely
it's
different.
different. It's
It's
yeah.
different.
different.
No,
Yeah.
and then
And I just fucking I love it. Like that's the through line of this album for me. Like obviously the beats on like Stop That, I Love You, and shit like are mind blowing. But for me, on some of the lesser tracks that people don't really talk about much, like his vocals are just on point. Like every single song, like his vocals are
I think
so cool. I love
I
his
think the
delivery.
most criminally underrated, and I think it's decently rated, but I think the most like this honestly, it gets nearly as much praise as like I Love You or Fix Up Look Sharp. It's Too Far with Wiley. Like
mhm,
listen to him rap on that, and if you replace his accent with like a very southern kind of accent from that kind of genre, he would be getting Andre 3000 comparisons everywhere. The way he fits his
Yeah.
like flow into some like pattern, like some spaces within beats is insane to me. And it's like he really does remind me of like rhyme schemes, not as much lyricism, but rhyme schemes and flow. Andre 3000 vibes. I really do feel
I
them.
can see it. I love on Just a Rascal, like the last verse, like the end of the song. He sounds like he's fucking dying, bro. Like it's
Yeah,
insane. Like his delivery there is so, and he just has like such a unique delivery on every song. And
it's
obviously
so
the production is just so cutting edge on every song. It's just like
for how
such a
technological,
classic,
like
such a
for how
classic.
electronic this album is, he's not polished at all. It's so
Yeah.
organic, his delivery, which I find is a lot of issues when artists try to jump into that kind of more electronic route, especially rappers that they'll clean up their vocals and they'll make it really like, have a good hook and everything. Here he's just going in raw practically.
Yeah, it
And
sounds like all like first take, first or second
yeah,
take, and he's just fucking going in.
yeah, yeah. No, and then I mean, like y'all said, like literally the fact that this was an album that came out in 2003 is just absurd.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's an album that like, oh, this could have came out yesterday. Because I mean,
No,
there's definitely
no, no,
some
no,
like,
definitely not. But I'm
yeah,
but
there's
I'm still
definitely
saying,
some like presets and sounds on there
yeah,
that you could point back to and be like, okay, this sounds like old, but like the patterns that he does, and also that adds to the charm of it. It adds to the sound of it. Definitely, that there's
yeah.
just like adds
But
to the
but
organicness as well.
yeah, but at
Like
the time of dropping,
sorry.
at least super ahead. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
I
sure,
was
for
I wasn't
sure.
gonna say like it sounds like it dropped yesterday. I was just gonna
Yeah,
say that like it blows my mind something like that can drop in 2003. Like I don't know, it's just so fucking crazy to me. But I don't know. I just love looking at
like,
when album dates come out, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me?
yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like even now and then, if a song like Round We Go dropped, especially with that hook, everyone would be just like laughing at the artist. But
Yeah.
he
yeah.
somehow just did it in a way where everyone was like listening to it, which is
Yeah.
insane.
I feel you.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
crazy.
to bring this one up, that album cover. Oh man.
Oh,
One of the best ever.
whereas
One of
One
so
of the
yeah.
best ever. I it's such a cool fucking like you don't often see that yellow, and then it's
Yeah.
just like I don't know. I
It's
think getting the vinyl kind of sold me as well because it doesn't have the text on it, and
that's
it
crazy.
just looks so cool, bro. Like look at that, bro. Like,
Yeah,
bro.
I think
it's
I
beautiful.
think that in the corner, like just how it looks is so like just encapsulates the album completely.
Yeah.
Like, there's one of my favorite lines on here is like, how can I respect the queen when she doesn't even know who I am?
Yes.
She lives neat and I live straight. And I was like, when he said that like completely captures the in the corner thing. Like, how are you meant to respect loyalty or like higher governance when they don't even know who you are?
Yeah.
Like, you live a completely different life to them. They live in an ivory tower. We recently had an Australian politician come on and say buying a house isn't that hard because 30 years ago I bought a house for 60,000. Like, it's insane how deluded everybody is. It makes you feel like you're in a corner. Like, obviously you guys probably don't know what is going on in Australia, but no one can buy a house and rent is just as much as mortgage, which
Oh,
is
Jesus.
fucked. And I feel like this album, when I hear a line like that, I was like, yeah, I feel that. It's so good. I love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually crazy. I did not fucking know that. But
Yeah.
Australia's getting up to some shit. Like, I'm sorry.
Uh,
Like, damn.
it's
Y'all
yeah.
been having a rough couple years. Like, holy
To
shit,
be
bro.
fair, literally no one cares. We just drink alcohol and go on with our day.
Yeah, that's fair. That's. I mean, if that's the way to live, like, like, do you? But like, nah, that's. But going back to this project, nah, I don't know. I'm honestly like really floored every time I listen to it because it's just like it's just something to turn on. Like I go running to this album sometimes, and that's really fucking fire. I love doing that. Either that or I just put "I Love You" on for 10 minutes straight, and I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. But I don't know. That song is generational. Definitely like one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah. But how about Max, bro? I want you to give me your top 3 tracks.
I love you. It's no
Yeah.
brainer.
Yeah.
I'm going too far just because of
Okay.
how I've talked about it too much. How can I not mention too
Yeah.
far? And then I'm going Round We Go. I love Round We Go.
It's fire.
Right. Yeah.
Vaughn, bro,
Fire.
give me your top 3.
You know, I Love You and Fix Up Look Sharp are gonna be my top two for sure. I mean, they just deserve the hype. I don't know. His delivery and the beat on Fix Up Look Sharp are just so infectious, you know.
It feels
And
criminal. Picks up, look sharp.
third, I'm gonna have to go Stop That because just the energy on that track is awesome.
Yeah. For me, I mean, once again, no brainer. I love you. Fucking uh I just want to say his delivery when he says oh my god, fuck, it's like something about college. Um she gives brain, she gives knowledge. Like that was so like I love his delivery.
Yeah.
Like I
100%.
fucking love that when he comes back in. Oh my god, it's so good. Next track seems to be definitely. I just love the way that fucking like he uses his voice as a fucking sample,
Yeah.
which is so brilliant to me. And then I'm actually gonna have to go with the intro sitting here. Like I love sitting here. I think
Oh,
it's actually it's probably the most mellow track on the album, which I think is a good thing to kind of like ease you in first and then drop you in with Stop That.
right. The
'Cause
fact that it goes from sitting here to Stop That is just mental.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like yeah, that's probably my top 3 right there
Yeah.
cuz I
Um,
absolutely love all 3 of those tracks. But well, I think that wraps it up. Let me ask Max though, how has music listening been for you lately? What have you really been bumping?
oh fuck, man. This is the okay. I know I've talked about this in like some group chats, but I've just come off working 17 days in a row. I
Oh
have
my
not been
god.
listening. Yeah.
Jesus.
But shit, I've been bumping that Yeet and The Weekend.
Yeet. Let's go.
Two
Like,
goats. Two goats.
I've
Two
been loving
goats.
that new Yeet album. It's so
Yeah.
good.
That's
I've
that's fair.
I've always since Dawn FM's come out, I haven't stopped listening. Same goes for the FKA Twigs mixtape. I know there was a lot of mixed feelings on it, but I loved it. This week has been all Pusha T. I've been listening to the album. It made me go re-listen to all Eclipse's shit practically,
That's
and
fair.
that's about it. Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
really had much time to listen to music really.
Yeah. Vaughn, good week for music for you? Good week?
Yeah, pretty good week. I've been getting back into Death Grips a lot.
Yeah, we're trying to bring
I
it
wanted
back.
to say that.
We're trying to steer the
I'm
ship
trying to
back.
bring it back. I've been listening, especially Powers That Be Disc 1
Rejecting Drain Gang, bringing back Death Grips.
and No Love Deep Web.
The
Shout out to that
only
album,
time I
most
listen
underrated.
to Death Grips is when I'm at the gym. I listen to Powers That Be at the gym. It goes fucking hard.
Yeah.
Death Grips at the gym and Death Grips mowing the lawn. Mowing the lawn to
Ooh.
Death Grips is the most insane experience. Like literally, I think before this week, like 90% of the time I listened to Death Grips in the past like year was like mowing the lawn, and it's just like a fucking it's a sensory overload because you got to turn it up enough to hear it over the lawnmower, and it's already like loud ass music. So
I feel that because
it's
when
awesome.
when we were
It's so metal,
quarantining,
bro.
I used to listen to Car while doing chores, like dishes and shit and laundry.
It fits
It was
so well.
hard.
It fits so
It was
well.
so hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say? Actually, Death Grips. This gives you like Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, walking through the
Walking
halls
the-
at school,
Yep.
listening to Death Grips is online was like an ethereal experience to me. I felt like I was like
Yeah.
I had the world in my hands and I could just crush it at any moment.
No, I would put on No Love Deep Web like almost every day at school this week, and just come
Yeah.
up and get me with like the snaps and shit, like just like the pounding ass bass.
Yeah.
And I was just
Like-
walking through the hallway like to my
Like,
next class.
Yeah, no, like listening to Death Grips like at a public function
funny.
just
It's
it
funny.
it feels like
Yeah.
surreal sometimes. But yeah, no. Overall, also, I mean, I just want to talk about what I've been listening to.
Yeah.
Vices, ladies and gentlemen.
Vices
Vices,
by
Wylan, Max. Fuck you, Max. Fuck you, Max.
I need to listen to it.
You need to listen, bro. Mariano Oscos. You know how he is with it, and he listened to it and
He
bought
said he
the
loved
vinyl,
it.
bro. He dropped 70 for the vinyl. Come on.
Failed me.
I just dropped 72. I just dropped 70.
I wouldn't drop 70 for like any vinyl.
I don't care, bro.
Oh, God.
I'm a demon for Wyland, bro. But yes, that is what I've been listening to. I hope someone recommends it for the Twitter picked album because I don't think we're gonna talk about it next week because Future is dropping. That's gonna be very exciting. So while we are in Australia for this episode, give a little hint. Our next guest is in the UK, so we're going international. It's gonna be a couple international episodes for Chair Guys, ladies and gentlemen. So be expecting. I can't say who.
You can't say who, but that's who I'm leaning towards right now. If I had to guess.
Who?
Fuka.
No.
No.
Not Fuka. No.
No disrespect.
No disrespect,
They have
but
not
no.
reached out.
We have not reached out. Chair Guys Corporate has not reached out. We're just the minions. But all right, I think it's time we wrap it up.
Pleasure. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure. I
Max,
enjoyed
bro,
it.
thank
Pleasure.
you. Yes, it has been beautiful to have
Pleasurable.
you on, bro. But
I got
we have to give a quick shout out really quickly to Todd Edwards.
Todd
Ladies and gentlemen,
Edwards, you know.
we always do it. Todd Edwards. Every episode we give a shout out to our boy Todd Edwards. Actually, Max, I just want to say I actually recommended Max listen to New Trend Sounds, and I'm pretty sure you absolutely loved it.
out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 right there. Boom.
No,
You see?
okay, this just reminded me what I actually have been bumping the most is that Frankie Knuckles boil.
Yes. Thank you for listening to it because
Awesome.
yes.
Yeah.
I downloaded this shit on my phone and I listened to it everywhere. I had to go for an hour drive to the warehouse to pick some shit up for work, and I listened to it on both ways back. It's just,
Yeah.
That's fire, man.
I had my mates over for drinks, and we have like a TV out back, so I chucked on the Boiler Room on TV.
Yes.
Everyone's like with it there while we're
Dude.
drinking. The vibe's immaculate. It's
I'm
so
telling you,
good.
I know when some dance music's gonna make you happy, gonna make you jump dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yes, big shout out to Frankie Knuckles, Todd Edwards. Big
Todd
shout out to
Edwards,
Max, bro.
I love Todd
We love
Edwards.
we love you, Max, bro. We
Shout
appreciate
outs.
you coming on. You a king, bro. You awesome as fuck.
You guys are very welcome. My pleasure.
Actually, I'm gonna have to give it up. Big shout out to Vaughn. Big shout out to Vaughn, bro. Much love
Shout
to
out
you, bro.
Anthony. Much
Big
love,
shout out,
Anthony.
big shout outs to you, bro. But
Big
yes, ladies
shout
and gentlemen,
outs.
this has been Cherry Guys Podcast, episode 19, right? 19 or
Yeah.
20? Okay, 19. Next episode will be episode 20. That's gonna be quite special. We're gonna make. I'm gonna wear a party hat, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 20.
Fire,
Just
fire.
okay. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for watching. I've been Anthony, alongside Vaughn and Max, and we'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.
Alright. See ya.